Hello, I'm Tim Parrish with the Community Fire Prevention Initiative team here in St. Louis County, and I'd like to speak with you today about fire prevention and code enforcement in the local area. First of all, what is fire prevention? This refers to any efforts to decrease chances of unwanted ignition of fires or limiting the spread of fires by controls and code enforcement. Why do we do it? We want to limit the spread of fires to surrounding structures in local areas. So containment, this is why we do it. We want to limit any sort of impact of any unwanted fire. So let's start with the 3 E's of fire prevention. These are education, enforcement, and engineering. Education includes any fire prevention initiative with community outreach events, such as programs in schools or community-based outreach events that are any of these programs that promote fire safety awareness and changes behaviors to improve fire safety. Enforcement is code compliance and verification through a regular inspection process and to clarify any application of codes. Engineering refers to science-based improvements that we can use to prevent fires. An example of this would be adequate stairways for exit or egress in the event of an emergency. Now let's talk a little bit about how codes are enforced locally. These are handled by local fire department districts, local fire districts. This is not county-wide. So these are based on NFPA codes or the National Fire Prevention Association codes. This would include plans review and regular inspections of existing commercial structures. How these codes are applied to new and existing buildings is a little different. Any new construction must meet all current codes. This requires the plan review and fire protection system systems to ensure code compliance. When it comes to existing buildings and structures, undergoing regular fire safety inspections, working with the local jurisdictions to ensure code compliance. This also is part of the enforcement where the code inspector is going to work with the company or establishment to ensure a timely resolution of any code violations. What we want is code compliance. The last thing we're going to do is implement fines or actually shutting down a structure if codes are not met in a timely manner. Now, determining the resistance of building materials, we have local organizations that you can partner with, depending on whether it's construction materials, UL fire resistance standards for building materials, or structural integrity of walls and floors containing a fire to control the spread. Different types of tests are used to do this. The UL 263 is used for the structural integrity of buildings, resistance to heat transfer to unexposed sides. So the Steiner tunnel test is used for measuring how a material surface spreads flames or smoke. So that's a different testing method used to see how fire is spread and contained by materials. These are rated as A, B, or C, with A being the highest. So tests and ratings apply to inspections and code enforcement all the way through the building's life cycle. Starts with initial design, plan review, field inspection, and then ongoing maintenance. So this is a constant ongoing process that include inspections of new construction and existing buildings, as I spoke to before. So unsafe structures, the characteristic of unsafe structures that we're looking for is inadequate exit path, missing warning systems, compromised fire suppression systems, and structural deterioration that occurs through time in a building's existence. Wood frame construction pose the highest hazard. This is due to void spaces behind walls that will avoid detection system, and the wood frame construction itself also is more flammable. So having improved safety and fire prevention opportunities through the plan review and ensuring compliance with safety codes on any new building, and that ensures that compliance throughout the whole building process. Structural controls would be fire detection systems, electrical equipment, and ensuring there's sufficient water supply to the sprinkler system. These are all parts of what encompasses the whole fire prevention and code enforcement system. I'd be happy to speak with anyone after this meeting to go more in depth in any of these processes that I've talked about. Fire prevention and code enforcement is a community-wide operation. We need the 3 E's of education, engineering, and enforcement all encompassed into this plan to improve fire safety and prevent fire spread to outlying structures like apartment complexes, having a fire rating of the walls between 2 units, so a fire in 1 unit will not spread. The fire rating of 1 hour for that sheetrock needs to be followed up through plan review. And then we're going to have ongoing fire inspections throughout the life cycle of an entire building. This is kind of an overview of the whole process. Thank you for your time today.